This is Subconscious Mind Mastery. Thomas and Majana back with you.
Hello.
Hey, we're going to do a little quick, this is one of those podcasts that we've done periodically along the way. So if you're catching this, let's say past August 2019.
It's old news.
It is not only false news, fake news, fake news, I guess is the term. It is done. It's like it's over. So we're talking about stuff that is happening between now, when we're releasing this on June 14th, and around the middle part of August. And we're going to talk about some of this energy that's in the space. But speaking of energy, levels of energy with Fred Dodson. I got an email from Fred this morning, and the group has filled in quite nicely. Wow, so many of you are coming to Dallas. A lot of folks from the podcast and folks from Fred's circles are going to join, and I think they are probably, at the end of the day, one and the same. And we're going to just have the best time. We have the venue. It's a wonderful place. It's a special place to Majana and me, actually. And we'll tell the group about that when we get together. But it is a special place for us, and we would love to share that with you. It is not too late.
Oh, no. Please join us.
Guys, I'm going to tell you a little secret, because this is not one of those, oh, you have to rush now and sign. No, you don't. You can sign up right before the event. Now, I don't know when if he'll cut it off or when he'll cut it off, but if you can get to Dallas, you can come. And let me tell you that we are at the point right now, if you're catching this podcast in the moment, we're at the point where the airfares are probably at their optimum. Usually about 6 weeks out is when airfares kind of get to be their best, and then it kind of settles in. And between all the cheap carriers and everything else, Dallas is such an easy market to get into from most places generally, that it's like, just really take a look. If you're having that pull, just do it.
So an easy thing to know, or a good thing to know, we actually have two airports, Dallas International, DFW, where everybody flies into that. But then there's also a smaller airport, Dallas Love, and Southwest goes right there, and simple in and out.
Yeah, they own that place. So just really take a look at it. This is the energy of what I did when I went to join Fred in Hawaii in 2017. And I think I've mentioned this. I was reading the audiobooks, and I could not get Hawaii out of my mind when I would sit down to narrate the audiobook. I'm looking at the words, and all I'm hearing in my head is Hawaii, Hawaii, Hawaii. Same thing happened to me yesterday about some things that Majana and I are working on, and there was a particular piece of software that I had been holding out and not purchased, and I just couldn't. I was sitting at my computer, and I could not get anything done. It just consumed me. So I was like, okay. I'm just, I don't understand it, but I'll get it, and just got it over with. So that's how you follow these promptings. I think that's how you follow energy, is when you have a really strong prompt. Now would be the time to just act on it. Go to FredDodsonDallas.com. That is a tracking link that will take you over to Fred's website, where you will fill everything out, sign up, and then send me an email to Thomas@subconsciousmindmastery.com that you are joining us. You're going to make reservations. I will send you a hotel list and a little restaurant list of kind of the venue area so that you'll have all the resources there. We'll put you into our WhatsApp group so that you can be communicating with the other podcast listeners who have already signed up and get up to speed with what we've been doing. We've had some amazing stuff going on in that WhatsApp group.
Some really great conversations and observations.
Oh, you talk about just cranking energy high. Wow. We've been doing it in that group. That's been fun. So we're doing the seminar now. We're just getting a good head running start toward it, and energy has already been going up. So if you feel the vibe, if you're feeling the love, FredDodsonDallas.com, we would love to see you here. All right, another announcement. I told you this was kind of all timely right here now. Majana, on her podcast, is just doing great. Have you guys been listening to Life After Life Radio?
Oh, I'm so grateful for you that are listening. And if you haven't, try us out. It's a lot of fun.
You are just doing a phenomenal job with that. And that is growing. We're putting some energy and resources over there. And you're starting to do some consults.
I am. Yes. We were actually doing a podcast and I got a very clear nudging to do that. So sessions starting this month.
Let Majana help guide you into connection with folks who have transitioned to the other side.
And angels and guides.
Pretty cool stuff going on there. Yeah, and angels and guides as well. Really neat. She's just doing great. So proud of her that she has that up and going and growing, and also a Facebook page on that as well.
Right. Just started that one today.
There's 2 members. They're both on this podcast.
We're growing fast, guys. We went nothing and double.
Everybody starts with 2. I mean, it's like them and their mother or their friend or something. You know, it's like, so that's that. And while we're talking about this cross promotion stuff, let's get into the purpose of today's podcast. And that has spawned from my astrology podcast that I'm doing every day. It's called Fun Astrology. You can find that over in iTunes and the podcast areas, Stitcher, what are all the other ones? Spotify, all that stuff. It's everywhere. But also on YouTube. We've got everything. All the podcasts now are on YouTube as well, by the way, if you like to just catch over there. So what's going on is something that we've been putting in the Subconscious Mind Mastery Facebook group, and people have been commenting on it because there's a lot of energy, and I'm not going to go into it here. That's the purpose of the other podcast. Just to say there's a lot of tension, a lot of wonky energy, and people are really feeling it, especially if you are a Cancer or really another water sign. I'm one, and yes, yes, especially today, the moon has been in Scorpio, so it's like it has. Yesterday was a really tough day for me. I had to kind of navigate through it. But I just showed Majana the chart all the way up through and into July, and there are just some challenges and opportunities because
Always.
Everything, and really, as I've talked on here so many times, astrology is just where energy spotlights are. So right now, it is a little tough. There are some vortexes of energy that might be affecting you from a less than move it forward way. Some of this is going to clear out on July 2nd because, not getting technical with astrology here, but the planet Mars has been stifled, basically, in the sign of Cancer, which is a water sign. Mars is a fire sign, so Zeus wants to breathe his fire, and Cancer's water is just like a cup up above the wall. So every time the dragon breathes, somebody throws water down on the fire.
and it's smoldering.
Puts it out. So if you felt a little stymied and stuck, well, that's why. All of that is going to basically clear out in mid-August, and that's why I set that date at the beginning. So what do we do? Here's the takeaways here. What do we do when the energy around you is not so fun?
It really does feel like, it makes me think of a kid going out and walking through mud, and it kind of just is sloggy, and you put on some good old rain boots and just keep going.
Yeah. Now, kids would play in it, but from the comments I'm hearing and what I've been feeling is a lot of people are not playing in this. It's been tough. So a couple of things. Let's just do a survivor's guide, if you will, kind of, for when things aren't so great. And, this energy is not just tied to this chart in front of us. It can be like at home. There could be some negative energy under the roof where you live.
I think it shows up everywhere.
Your place of work. And it's, again, not tied to this. It could be that you're just in a tough environment where you are. How do you handle that? What are some things that you can do to navigate through that? So I'm going to throw one out, and then we'll let Majana. Majana has a couple that she does. So what I do is I get real close to my journal, and I get real close to physical exercise. Those two things really help me bust it out. Was up early this morning, got a couple of podcasts done, and got out the door and went for a big, long walk in the cool of the day. That was refreshing. Spent some time journaling before I left. Spent some time journaling yesterday. So it's just going back to the basics and making sure that you are connecting with your inner self. All of this energy that is going on right now is transformation-based energy. The whole universe has set up this once-in-a-multi-century opportunity to have these two planets, which only represent energy. That's all they do. But these two planets, Saturn and Pluto, are going to be they're in the same house of Capricorn. That has not happened for hundreds of years. The last time it could have happened was back when the United States was born.
Wow.
And it didn't. So you'd have to go back another 270 years and take a look at that. So we're talking back to the Middle Ages, and I don't think my my software has that much data in it. But yeah, it is. It's incredible what we've been given right now to do this karmic, cosmic soul growth work is huge. I think if we knew how big of a deal this was, that we would, I just think it would be shifting and resounding in our culture, and people would be taking advantage of it. Basically, most people are asleep to it.
I think, yeah, for everything. Most people don't know any of this.
And it is an opportunity of not a lifetime, of a millennia missed if you miss this. So what you do is you get busy with the soul work. And when stuff is stinging, the first place that I would suggest you look is at resistance. What are you resisting at that point? And that's where the journal comes in handy, because you're writing down what you're resisting. And if you just go back to old Uncle Thomas's How Do You Turn Things Around 101, do the opposite. So whatever that resistance area is on the page of your journal, just look at it and think, what would I do differently? What would I do to go the other way? Find the opposite action, and then realize that somewhere in between where you are and where it is your answer.
Yeah, some self-introspection for sure. One thing that has shown up that really just kind of surprises me is, all right, I'm Capricorn, and Thomas just mentioned the house of Capricorn here. So maybe that has something to do with it, but I'm finding myself feeling more withdrawn than usual. I'm pretty gregarious, and I wake up in the morning and my thought is, what am I going to do? Line out my day. But usually I want high energy. I need to be moving. And I've been really very content just kind of holing up, pulling in, and being not my normal self. I think that's really interesting.
Yeah. Well, there it is, right? It's that little thing with the arrow coming out of its side called Mars, representing that energy in your life. All right, couple of things. What do you do?
When things aren't working, find my happy place. So exercise, I think, is always good. Thomas and I were talking about cleaning. And when I'm having a hard time getting motivated, especially if nobody's home, man, I crank the tunes. Find something that whatever I'm in the mood for, and I just turn it up and go to town.
Yeah, I kind of ruined that. Sorry. Well, I got her one of those little robot cleaners, those sweepers.
Oh, well.
So she doesn't have to do that anymore.
I do appreciate that, but they're very much. Yeah.
So took care of that. Sorry, blew the tunes. What else?
Well, if you've been listening, Thomas and I found a very cool little getaway in Sulphur.
Right on time.
So, it ties back into exercise, but it's beauty, and it's getting away from the normal gunk and doing something you really enjoy. And then come back and put your head down and plow through. Excellent
tips. I think the thing is, if you'll just frame it from a soul perspective and don't make it about your physiology, your body, your life, make it about your soul. Take it up to a higher notch, a higher level, and live from up there. That's better ground.
Always.
And then it puts it in a whole different perspective. All right. Hope to see you in Dallas. FredDodsonDallas.com. Go register. We would love to have you. Start to make those airline reservations. We can help you with all that. If you'll just register and then email me, Thomas@subconsciousmindmastery.com. We'll jump in there and help you pull it all together. Thank you for listening to this one.
Have a great day and enjoy your journey.